In this video, I just wanted to show you some helpful tips on creating some of these models for the bearing support assembly. First of all, let's look at this bearing. So we know we have to put a hole in the side of there, and we've seen this before in a couple of our other models. Remember, you can't choose a cylinder to make a sketch. You're going to have to do a work plane. So what you'll want to do is find a plane and right click and turn it on. If you look at that, you see that plane goes right through the part. So I'm going to take that plane and offset it out to the surface here by using offset plane. And we know the diameter of the outside of that is 2.5, so that's going to make that 1.25 inches. So I'll put a plane out there. I'm just going to right click that one, turn it off. And then I'm going to do a sketch on there, and that's where I'm going to sketch that hole. So now I have a flat surface to sketch the hole, and it's actually a 3/8 hole. Make sure you dimension it correctly. It's 1.25 inches from the 1.25 inches from the bottom. And then I can just do a cut. And that doesn't go all the way through, it only goes through one side of the part. So that'll allow me to put that hole in the side of the part. So that was one thing. Another thing is this cap screw. If you follow the instructions that they have in the book, let's look at this sketch. And they tell you to do this. I'm going to revolve this. They tell you to put this slot in here. But when you revolve it, all that does is create a little hole in the part. So it doesn't make any sense. That technique for generating that does not make sense using the revolve tool, right? So what I did was just cut a slot in. And honestly, this is just a screw. We don't really care that much about the head or anything. So just make something reasonable out of it, and we'll put a slot in it. So what I did was offset a work plane. So I just offset a plane from this surface. I want to go this way though. That's, what is that? That looks like 5/16. So offset a plane out this way and make a new sketch on that plane, and then just draw a rectangle and put some reasonable dimensions on it for the width of the slot. Let's see what I put on it. I don't know what that number is. Again, just something reasonable. It's just a screw. We don't really care. It's just a slotted screw. And then we'll extrude that into a cut. Now, obviously, we're not going to go all the way through the part, so extrude that down, I don't know, maybe 1/4. It might be too much. Forgot to make it a cut. That was kind of funny. All right, so there we go. There's our slot. Again, don't put too much time and energy into that, but you cannot generate a screwdriver slot like that by using that revolve tool. So I can actually delete that hole where I had that hole. I'm not going to keep taking up time, but I'll just go in and delete that sketch part of the sketch where I had that hole in there. The other thing I have to do is add threads. So I've already got the diameter of this set to the correct size. The thread on this was a 3/8. And if you look at the base of the part, it tells you it's a 3/8 24 thread. So go up here to thread and click on that shank of that, and it notices that it's a 3/8, but its default is to a coarse thread, 3/8 16. We have a 3/8 24, and you can see it'll change that. And again, it's just kind of like making it look like a thread. It's not an actual thread. And we can put a depth if you want to change like how far the thread goes. In this case, let's see, what do I have on there? 0.7. What if we did like a 0.5? Oh, it's in the wrong direction. We have to do an offset. Something like that. Okay, so there's our screw. So that's perfectly acceptable. Again, we're not going to put too much time and energy into just a screw, but we will want that in our assembly. Let's see, what else? The base plate. So in the base plate, these holes are also threaded. So I went ahead, when I made the model, I just cut holes in here. Now, I showed you how to use the hole tool, and you can certainly use the hole tool to put a thread on there, but since I already have the holes cut in there, I can just again use this thread right here, click on the hole. It has captured the fact that it's a 3/8 hole, but again this is going to be a 3/8 24, and I've got two holes, so just click on this plus sign and I can click on the other hole. It also is a 3/8 24 and say OK, and you'll see, you get the appearance that that's a threaded hole. So just some minor little details that you want to take care of in your models, and then those will carry through when you go for your assemblies and also for your detailed drawings.